Saturday the 8th of March, and that means it is the start of week 2 of the Realmathon. So I completed 2 books in the first week, and I started my 3rd book last night, which was The Goal by Elle Kennedy, and I am really liking it so far. I actually read it's either 2 or 3 more chapters this morning, but like they're quite short chapters, so it was easy to get through. So The Goal is a hockey romance, and it has the accidental pregnancy trope. So the characters in this one are Sabrina and Tucker, and I honestly so far think Tucker is going to be my favourite main character from the Off-Campus series. Like, I've liked all of the characters in it, but I don't know, there's just something about these two that I'm liking a lot more from the start than I did with the other characters so far. But I put the book down for a while, and I have been studying for about an hour, and I have just finished the book section of the module that I was on. So now I just have to finish the online section. I have no plans to leave the house today, so it's a chill one, study, read, and I think I might make some cupcakes as well. Gonna settle down and watch some TV, but the internet's just gone down, so I think that is my sign that I need to keep reading. I'm up to chapter 8, and I am assuming that the internet needs resetting, so I'm not going to do that myself. I'm going to wait for Jamie to come home, which is going to give me an hour to sit and read undistracted. Let's see if I can do it. I have just made dinner. As I've like become obsessed with making these like pizzas. I just on a plain tortilla, and then I just chuck some vegetables on them, but it tastes really good. Good morning. It is Sunday the 9th of March. So reading update, I am still on The Goal by Elle Kennedy. I am definitely going to finish this today. I'm obsessed. I'm up to chapter 24, and I'm really loving these characters. I absolutely love Tucker. He is definitely my favourite guy from this series, and I think, do you know what? He could be one of my new all-time favourite book boyfriends. He is just the sweetest, and Sabrina has been mentioned in the other books, and she kind of had a bit of a reputation, and it's really nice to kind of see her a bit more in depth. And yeah, I honestly thought this was going to be my least favourite in the series, but it's ending up being my favourite. I can't put it down. I'm so invested in the story. At this point, Sabrina is now pregnant, and she has just made a decision as to what she wants to do, whether she wants to go ahead or end it. And I am just really hoping that this is going to continue to be a kind of a sweet romance. I'm really worried that there's going to be a 3rd act breakup. Like, I really hope there's not. I really hope Tucker's gonna stay and be supportive. But yeah, it's just gonna be another kind of lazy day at home today. I was gonna go out for a walk this morning, but I don't really like going out by myself for walks, so I'm just gonna stay in. I'm gonna read. I've set up a new print on our 3D printer. I'm making another bookshelf sign, and I've realized that I have not yet marked the Starlight Air as read on the spreadsheet thing for the readathon, so I need to do that before I forget, because I'm going to be finishing this today, so then I can mark off 2 books today for the readathon and hopefully help my team, because if I don't put the points on, I'm not going to be helping my team, and that's not good. I just finished The Goal, and I am giving this 5 stars. I just loved it so much. All I want to do right now is read the final book in the series, The Legacy, but it's not on the TBR for the readathon, so even though I could probably make it work, I'm trying to stick with the TBR that I had chosen. But yeah, I still stand by everything that I previously said before. I loved the characters, I loved the story, and it has made me want to try other books with this trope that I typically avoid and don't really enjoy. And I just love that when you read a book and you go into it thinking you're not going to love it, and you end up loving it, which seems to be a theme so far of this TBR for this readathon. I'm going to pick the next book. I think I know what I'm going to go for. I have 8 books left on the TBR. I've had to shove some notebooks so they all stay standing up. I think I'm going to go with Hexed by Emily McIntyre as my next read. This is the longest book that is still left, but I'm in the mood for something a little bit darker, and I'm trying to like alternate between like romance fantasy so that I don't get slumpy by reading the same thing again and again. And this is the gorgeous edition from the works with the sprayed edges. I'm nervous going into this one because this Never After series, I have really enjoyed 2 of the books and I didn't like 3 of them. So I don't know. I think this is going to be one that I like though. So this one is a Little Mermaid retelling, and I think it's around the mafia, and Enzo, the hero, ends up getting with his fiance's cousin. So mafia, dark, retelling, forbidden. I have high hopes. It's just gone 5 o'clock on Monday, the 10th of March, and I have not really filmed anything today. So this afternoon I had an appointment about a like minor surgery that I have been needing to have, and it was just like a consultation, and I'm having it done on Friday, and I'm really scared about it. It's nothing bad. There's literally just like a cyst on my scalp that it doesn't hurt, it doesn't cause any problems, but it does make me really self-conscious, and I wear my hair down all the time because when I wear my hair up you can see it, and I just want to be able to do my hair and not be self-conscious that it's showing. So I'm getting that removed on Friday and I'm terrified. So trying to take my mind off things. I have still been reading Hexed. I'm up to chapter 12, and same as the last 2 books I read, I'm obsessed. I'm loving it, and I think it's going to be a new favourite. So this is a Little Mermaid retelling, and it's a mafia romance, and we have Enzo, who I'm really loving, and Vanessa. So Vanessa's cousin Aria is engaged to Enzo. It's like an arranged marriage business deal kind of thing, but they both like each other, and like I've still got like a long way to go, but I'm hooked on it and I just don't want to stop reading it. And today is also mine and Jamie's 10-year anniversary, which is crazy. We're not doing anything special or anything for it, but yeah, it's just crazy that I've been with someone for 10 years. Like, I still can't believe it. So yeah, it's been a bit of a boring day, to be honest. And I've been sat here for the last hour thinking, do you know what, I'm going to make something on a 3D printer again. But there are some things I want to make, but we don't have the right colours for them. So I'm just going to hold off, and I just don't really know what to do with myself. So I have about an hour or so until Jamie's going to get in from work. So I'm probably just going to sit and read this for another hour. But yeah, I think this is my favourite of the series so far. Tuesday the 11th of March, back at my desk. I've been doing some studying this morning, and I'm now on a chapter about Charles Dickens, and specifically A Christmas Carol. And now I actually have to read A Christmas Carol, and I didn't realise that, like, I knew I had to do it in this unit, but I didn't realise it was now right in the middle of the readathon. And luckily it's not a big story, so I should be able to, you know, read it in an afternoon or so. I don't think I'm going to be able to count it towards any prompts for this readathon, but I'm kind of at like a stuck with my study now because I can't continue it until I have read A Christmas Carol. So I'm going to try and read it now and just get it done. I read a bit more of Hex this morning. I think I'm up to chapter 17 or 18. I've passed the 200 page mark and I'm still absolutely loving it. And as much as I just want to sit and read that all day, I really do need to try and focus on getting the study done. It is Wednesday. I am still reading Hex, but I think I'm on like the last 100 pages now. Yeah, I have like 104 pages left, so I'm definitely gonna finish it today and I think this could be a new all-time favourite. I will obviously talk a bit more about it when I finish, but I feel like I just say the same thing every day when I update. It's just that I love it. So today I have Shannon coming around tonight, and we are going to work on our book for a couple of hours. We are just kind of going through it at the minute and reading the chapters together, editing them together, and hopefully once we've finished the entire book this way, it will kind of be complete. And then we have a few people that are going to kind of check it over for us, and we are also in the process of trying to find some artists to do some artwork so we can help promote the book and just have like some character art, which is really exciting. But I'm about to have some lunch, and then I'm going to try and finish text in one sitting, which it looks intimidating because of the size of the book, but because I'm enjoying it so much, it should be easy. I just finished Hexed, and I've given it 5 stars. To be honest, I think it could be a 6-star read. So Hexed is based off The Little Mermaid, and I have never seen or read The Little Mermaid story, so I don't know whether that was a good thing or a bad thing because I had nothing to like compare it to. But this is a dark mafia romance, and I had been kind of steering away from darker romances and mafia. I'd kind of gone off it, but I loved this so much. We have Vanessa and Enzo is engaged to Vanessa's cousin, and the two start to fall for each other. And Vanessa was just like a really strong female main character, and she wasn't afraid to, you know, get into the mafia business. And I just really loved Enzo. Like, I feel like you shouldn't love the characters when they're bad guys, but I just really liked him as a character, and I like that there were parts to him, like he had a fear. It's not a spoiler, but I won't say what it is, but like there was little things that like made him vulnerable, and I really liked that because it just showed that like he was human. Yeah, this is definitely my favourite book in the Never After series, and I'm definitely going to reread it. And I wanted to tab it as I was reading it, but because I have the sprayed edge edition, I thought the tabs would look odd, so I'm honestly tempted to find another copy that doesn't have sprayed edges so I can reread it and like tab and annotate it, because there was so much in here that I just absolutely loved. But anyway, now it is time to pick the next book. Here is what I have left. So I do really want to pick up Vicious because it's my local book club's pick for this month, and my friends have all started it already and they're all really liking it. But probably going to read it next week because I'm reading so much at the minute, I don't want to like forget anything that happens in it, so I'm still trying to save that one. So then we have these, and I was thinking last night that actually I might go for The Davenports. This is a romance. I don't know if it's young adult or not. I was sent it by House of YA, but it's like Bridgerton kind of vibes. We have some wealthy families, and I think it follows some different characters, and they all have like different dreams, and it's like all of their different stories in one. I've never watched Bridgerton or read it, so I don't quite know what to expect. But again, this is just another one that has been sitting on my shelves for almost a year now, and I just want to get to it. I am up to chapter 6 of The Davenports. I've just started it, which is page 46. So in this we have 4 characters that we are following. Each of them have their own POV chapters. So we have Olivia and Helen, who are sisters, and then we have Amy Rose, who is their maid, and Ruby, who is Olivia's best friend. So Olivia and Helen are from a well-off family. Their father was enslaved, and he has built a business for himself that has been really successful. Olivia has just come into her 2nd season, so she is really interested in finding a husband and just kind of being like the perfect daughter to her parents, whilst her sister Helen is the youngest of her siblings. They also have an older brother, and she is more interested in mechanics than being like a proper lady. Then we have Amy Rose, the maid, and she has a dream of opening her own salon. She has made some hair products which are being sold in a local barbershop that has been successful. And then we have Ruby, Olivia's best friend, and her family are well off as well, but her father wants to be the first black mayor in Chicago, and because they've been putting so much money into this, they aren't as well off as they used to be, and I think she's like struggling with it. And she's also in love with Olivia and Helen's older brother, and Ruby's parents want them to be engaged as it would help Ruby's status. And I am really liking it so far. If this is actually based off a real life story of the C.R. Patterson dynasty, but it has really intrigued me so far, and the font, like, it's quite easy to read, so I think I am going to be able to fly through this. This lighting is really bad, I'm sorry, as it is Thursday the 13th today, and I went to the gym this morning, and then I went in to like a local shopping centre because I went pottery painting 2.5 weeks ago with my friends, and our pottery was ready to collect, so I volunteered to go and get it as I live the closest. So I painted 2 things. I did this like little dragon. It's supposed to be like Darius from Zodiac Academy because he's gold, but they didn't have a gold. But this one had like an orangey, well, it was yellow when I painted it. It's kind of come out orange, but yeah, not sure how I feel about that one. But I am really proud of like the main thing I made. I made a sign to go on my bookshelves that says Ellie's Library, and I just painted like some butterflies that reminded me of Quicksilver, some bows and some flowers, and I need to get like some string or something to be able to hang it up, but at the minute it's just kind of resting on top of one of my bookcases. Reading update, still reading the Davenports. I'm up to chapter 19, which is page 154, and I'm hoping to try and finish it today. I'm kind of like halfway through, and I'm once again, like every other book that I've read so far, I'm really liking this. So I don't usually read historical, and I thought it was gonna take me a bit to kind of get used to historical language, but it's actually quite easy to read, and there are 4 different POVs from 4 different characters, and they're not hard to follow. You can tell, even if you stop halfway through a chapter and like go back, you can tell who's talking and who it is. It's keeping me interested because each of the characters have their own kind of storyline within the story, so they all have kind of like their own love interest, even though it's not like heavily romantic. And I feel like one of them has in her mind who she wants, but I think she's starting to fall for someone else. And then one of the sisters wants to just be a mechanic, but her family want her to be like a proper lady, so they've hired like a governess for her that she's trying to escape, and I think she is going to fall in love with someone that she shouldn't. And I don't think it's like too heavily of a romantic book. I think it does kind of more focus on the time, and it talks a lot about slavery and what life was like for those who had been enslaved and who were now free. There is one character whose, I think it was his dad, was a slave owner and his mom was the slave, and they fell in love and had him. I just think it's really interesting read, and I am really liking it, which surprises me purely because I don't read historical. But I think it's about 3 o'clock now. I haven't had lunch or anything, so I think I'm just going to make something quick now, and then tomorrow is the day that I have to have my minor surgery, and this week seems to have flown by since Monday when it was like booked in. I've been trying not to think about it, and now it's tomorrow. I'm actually really scared, so that's why I'm just going to try and focus on reading and finishing the Davenport so I don't sit and think too much about it. And then I'm hoping they're going to let me listen to music or something, and I'm going to take my headphones, and I'm thinking maybe instead of music I might download an audiobook, because I feel like if I start an audiobook tonight and kind of get into the story, if I listen to that whilst they're doing it, I will be focused on the story instead of what they're doing. I know it's just like a small minor thing, but I'm just really, I have really bad health anxiety. I'm very squeamish, and I said to the doctor on Monday, like, I will probably faint because I just hate anything like medical. Yeah, I'm just, even talking about it now is making me feel a bit woozy, so I am gonna have something to eat and read some more of this. And I also picked up today the Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. I got 2 copies because Shannon wanted one, and we were both heading to separate the work stores today, and we were like messaging each other like whoever got there first to get them. So there's one for me and one for Shannon, but how cute are those sprayed edges? I'm sad that the rest of the books in the series don't have sprayed edges. Maybe the works will like bring them out so they can all have sprayed edges, but these are adorable. It is Friday. I don't know how much I'm going to film today because I don't know how I'm going to be feeling afterwards, but I'm currently just sat reading some of the Davenports as my mum is on her way over to pick me up so we can go to the surgery. I have downloaded an audiobook to listen to. Well, I'm going to listen to a Zodiac Academy book 7, I think it is, because I started rereading it last year and that was the last one I'd stopped on, and I already had the audiobook purchased, and the first chapter's an hour, so I thought it would be good to kind of reread a book because I can focus on something where I love the characters and kind of know the story, instead of putting on something new that I may not like whilst I'm in there. But yeah, my mum is calling, so I need to go. Sorry, I'm going to end this weekly vlog like this because I'm looking a bit of a mess after yesterday. I'm still in a bit of pain, but I am feeling a bit better than I was yesterday. But last night I managed to finish the Davenports and I gave it 4.5 stars, rounded up to 5 on Goodreads. I did really enjoy it, but I found it kind of slowed down towards the last quarter. But at the start, all 4 of the female main characters all had different plans for their life, and as it went through the story, they all started to realise that maybe it wasn't what they wanted, maybe it was an expectation, and they all kind of paved their way to get the path they wanted, and not all of their paths turned out how they wanted or expected, and it did kind of end on a cliffhanger. I think there is a second book, so I would like to read that to see what happens next. But yeah, I did really like it. And yeah, it's Saturday morning now, so I'm ending the vlog here as I didn't finish it last night. But that is the end of week 2. And I did start reading the next pick last night, but you'll have to watch next week's reading vlog to find out what that is. But if you made it to this point, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again next week.